Hi, I'm David Chokachi. I play Cody Madison on the TV show Baywatch, and we'll be taking you backstage to see some backstage footage of filming today. Cheers.
On Metro Cafe, we go on the set of Baywatch and talk to their hunk, David Chokachi. We also get a lesson in the art of body massage. One of Canada's brilliant fashion designers, Fyzal Virani, shows his collection. We also have a light-hearted chat with Moxy Fruvous. She hits the charts like a storm. Amanda Marshall takes the spotlight.
We also take a tour of the legendary and breathtaking Beverly Hills Hotel.
Seen in over 140 countries worldwide, Baywatch has become the most watched and successful TV show on the planet. With exotic locations and the sexiest of stars, Metro Cafe got to take a behind-the-scenes look, and I got to meet their latest hunk.
People stand in the darkness.
Over the years, Baywatch has delighted fans with storylines about a group of California lifeguards and the lives they lead. Metro Cafe went on set to schmooze with actor David Chokachi and to get the scoop on this weekly hour of blistering fun in the sun.
Baywatch is the #1 show on the planet, so how does it feel to know that like billions and billions of people are watching it?
It's pretty exciting, and it's also pretty scary because, sometimes you're like, yeah, I want 1 billion people to see me, and then sometimes you're like, geez, I better do a good job because 1 billion people are going to be seeing me. So it's a catch-22.
Have you been on anything that's anywhere near this kind of exposure before? Are you used to this kind of pressure?
Not of this magnitude, no.
So 30 years from now, this will be like the big break, right? That broke you out in the
30 years
world.
from now, right now it is, so never mind 30 years from now. Yeah, I mean, the show right now, it seems to be hitting its stride, and if not still going upwards, and I think timing-wise, it couldn't have been better for myself to jump on and be my character's really popular. I'm going to be in 15 out of 19 episodes, so I'm going to be used a lot.
Everyone wants to be on Baywatch, right? And I'm sure there's like 1 million hunks out there who audition. So what makes you special? What do you think made you stand out in the crowd?
I don't know. Luckily, they were writing a new character, and the character they had in mind was pretty much really close to who I am. I mean, they were going for like a blonde kid with a good physique and who loved athletics and great personality. He's supposed to be really outgoing. It was just like perfect. So when I walked, after first time I auditioned, they're like, producers, go see him. They were like, yeah, you'll be perfect for this. They saw a ton of people, and everybody in LA, all the guys between 20 and 29 wanted this spot. It's just perfect all around, and the show press-wise is just every week it's on ET or X or something, so it's great for someone's career.
Every week, the producers and writers of the show come up with different plots inspired by the American West Coast lifestyle that has become somewhat the envy of millions of viewers all over the world.
Kind of gives off that whole California lifestyle that's popular and kind of sets a lot of trends, from the West Coast to the East Coast and then eventually to Europe and beyond.
Do you think the glamorous aspect of it, the sun, sea, the surf?
The bathing suits, yes. It all becomes one element and just sets off the success, yeah.
Do you guys ever secretly call it Baywatch in the offices?
You might hear that from a few people, but in the offices it's taboo, yes. Outside, right. Yes.
How do you keep the show fresh week after week?
We try to stay current. If there's stories that have happened in real life, we'll try to pull those in and make them more glamorous to fit the TV realm and exciting. And we also like to get new faces on every now and then, or trim the bikinis up a little bit.
Now there's a new show. I don't even know if you're related to it at all. Baywatch Nights.
Yes.
So tell me about that. What is it?
Baywatch. It's Baywatch Nights. Stars David Hasselhoff, and he takes Garner Ellaby, who is the police officer on Baywatch. They join together and decide they want to be detectives. So there will be the same elements of Baywatch, only a little more elegant. They'll have more romance, more night glitz, so more like dresses and tuxedos and whatnot.
And so it's a detective story. It's crime fighting.
Correct. Along the lines of Murder, She Wrote, and Magnum P.I., and Moonlighting, all those kind of elements, and comical elements, and some drama and action.
Excellent. Thank you so much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
We took our Metro Cafe camera to Toronto, where our own Robin McCrary got a lesson in the art of body massage.
The muscles are one-way machines. They can only pull. They can only shorten themselves. And that's the most common thing that happens with muscles over a period of time, is that they get shorter and tighter. And so a lot of what massage is about is counteracting that and lengthening the muscles. This is called crushing the coconut. The big toe is the head, and then the border, medial border of the foot is the spine. We're not too comfortable having our bodies touched, but then once people get used to that, and their bodies have their own level of trust, then it's fine. This all in this area here is the digestive tract, the whole arch of the foot in here.
Does it make a difference what kind of oils that you use?
Yes, you use different ones for different effects.
And what effect is this one going to have?
Relaxing. Happiness. Make her happy. If you spend actually half an hour or so working on the feet, you'll actually start to get responses in the digestive tract. If you hear them going, Sharon was just complaining about a twitch in her eye. So we'll apply a little pressure to that nerve there and see if we can get it to calm down a bit. The neck. In Sharon's case with headaches, the neck is the most important part. The muscles of the spine of the neck, if they get tight, then they restrict the flow of blood, especially away from the brain. Squeezing the foot is good, flexing all the joints of the toes, stretching them apart, very good. What I'm doing is lifting the shoulder blade away from the body. And the shoulder blade, all the muscles that go from the shoulder blade to the spine, when you do that, get stretched out. That one takes a little bit of getting used to it, because it's not a very common feeling of having yourself lifted up by your shoulder blade. Someone just sits beside you, behind you like this, and cradles your head in the hand and bears the weight of it. That helps the neck muscles to relax quite a bit, because our necks always work. Even when we're sitting or whenever, we're always holding our heads up. You're working with the most complex thing that there is on the planet, the human being. And it's fascinating, endlessly. Well, I go every 2 weeks myself.
Oh,
so I'm addicted.
So you go to another massage therapist?
Yeah, it's not so much fun massaging yourself.
No, I don't think so. Would you get a massage more often now?
Oh, yeah. I would do this all day, every day if I could.
Hi, I'm Amanda Marshall, and you're watching Metro Cafe.
He's considered one of Canada's top 5 fashion designers. His name is Fyzal Virani. This is the second time he appears on our show. His creations have been well received by a variety of fashion outlets all over North America. We caught up with him here in Vancouver, and here's what he had to say.
I do corporate career wear, classic with a twist.
Virani Fashions is a unique collection featuring signature fabrications and styles that bring together the refinement and the elegance of European lines with wearable, interchangeable groupings.
I feel my women have no age. They have an attitude. And you can be 25 or you can be 60, but if you have style and flair, you can wear it. I think age is something in the mind. It's nothing to do with style or fashion. You have to be ageless today for fashion. Everybody works out. We're all global. We travel. We work out. We eat healthy food. We junk at times. It just depends on what we are. But we all want wonderful things. So fashion has got no parameters. I like to be funky and fashionable, at the same time wearable. You know, I'm not Giorgio Armani prices. I'm more of affordable prices, and I'm Canadian, so I can't get $3,000 a suit. But I have to be so people can afford me, and I want them to buy lots of me, not one of me.
The Virani line is sold across Canada and the US in boutiques as well as chain stores. 98% of production happens here at the House of Virani in Vancouver. Fyzal is also a hands-on creator who is just as comfortable decked out in jeans sketching his fashion silhouettes in the comfort of his own office.
What is so special about Fyzal's design for you?
Well, Fyzal has a way of seeing a woman's body the way that it actually is. A lot of male designers dress a woman and design for a woman the way that they like to see it. Fyzal is a little more realistic, and he does all the little nips and tucks, so his garments are very flattering on a woman's body.
Today's woman, she needs a fabulous jacket, she needs a short skirt, she needs a bodysuit, a great white cotton shirt, a good pair of shoes, a nice pant, and that gives her three outfits. Women are becoming like men now. Men are very sensible dressers. Men buy one or two things and they add to them. Women never did that before. Women would just go out and buy anything they wanted. Now they're becoming like men. They buy investment dressing.
Women or men, for instance, they just love designer names, for instance, like Armani, Versace. Are they satisfied with the Canadian designers?
Oh, yes, but remember, Badry, Versace is like $700 for a shirt. Virani is $200. You can buy 5 shirts for the price of one. Secondly, I give the same fabric, same quality, same styling. All I don't have is, my name is Virani and it's Versace. We have the same thing. We buy the same mills. My quality is as good. But see, we've had to educate the Canadian customer that Canadian is good. Women in the workforce are becoming very important. So for a designer to dictate to a woman, short skirts are in or long skirts in, that's rubbish. Women now have their own mind. They know what suits them. They know what they can wear. So today's woman is becoming more and more powerful. Designers can't dictate to her, she's dictating to us. A lot of women, working women, are really looking out for Canadian designer products, and they want to say, I'm wearing Canadian. It's really, you can be proud now. Before you weren't proud, now you're really proud.
Gian and Mike of Moxy Fruvous.
Your mother made you cry when she told you about the room.
There's Murray. You want to just he's
through the glass.
doing another interview in the white t-shirt, not the guy with the glasses, the other guy.
Bargainville. And that was your first CD, and it's very different from Wood, which is your second CD.
A new record, yeah.
Now, why this change?
Well, we were essentially hoping that with a major change, we could sell less records, become a bit of a disaster story, a footnote in history, and.
But we'd always be that footnote, you know? It would be that little asterisk next to 1993.
Since the first one was so successful, we want to creatively and musically evolve and challenge each other and challenge our listeners. So this is the latest incarnation.
Some of the songs on there were written during the touring. They started up, you know, whether over in England or down in Delaware. And then we finally got a chance to come back to Toronto. This is the end of '94. And we had toured like crazy through the UK and US all through '94. We spent 2 months getting our heads back together, starting to write, starting to meet slowly over the winter break. And then a few months later, we were in the studio down in upstate New York in the Catskills and recording it.
Do you get on each other's nerves?
Oh, sure. Especially like the 2 years of touring.
Actually, 3 of us get along, but not really with Dave. He's a bit of an outcast.
All right.
He's always feigning being sick, so that he can. He's probably watching this right now, laughing with like sort of a deli tray in front of him of foods.
The king of deli trays.
Yeah.
It's a dirty job, but they're very
He's a cheese expert.
Name a cheese. Any kind of cheese. Cheddar.
Dave would know
Dave
that.
would know a cheddar.
Dave
Yeah.
knows cheddar.
Wow. Is there a particular type of person that goes to see a Moxy Fruvous concert?
Well, we've been proud at the breadth.
The broad demographic, as we like to say in the industry.
Much more of a club audience, a drinking audience.
Jesus high on wine, we've been turpentine.
You're him, right?
No, I'm this guy.
You're him?
Yeah,
That doesn't look like you.
Really? You can color code us.
Still doesn't look like you.
See?
That looks much more like you.
All 4 members of the group write lyrics and music.
Make you run up and down the same hill, and they'll break your will.
Nuit de rêve. Here, ici. Est-ce que tu parles français?
Oui, on parle français dans ce groupe.
We'll subtitle this.
Et parfois, on fait des chansons québécois ou bien français ou belgique dans notre spectacle.
Thanks a lot for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Benita.
One of the really good things I enjoy about this business is the fact that I can get to meet a lot of people with a lot of talent. Amanda Marshall is one of those people. Here she is, judge for yourself.
I have given, and got none. Still I'm driven by something I can't explain.
So how does it feel to have a Sony recording contract, you know?
It feels great. It's, you know, it's wonderful.
So how did you land the contract?
Well, I was, when I graduated, I was 16. I graduated from high school, and I was not really, I wasn't sort of seeking a record contract. I knew I wanted to be involved in the music industry. I always knew I'd be sort of in the music industry because I've been singing since I was a little kid. I've always been doing musical theater and that sort of thing. And I met well-renowned Canadian guitar player Jeff Healey one night at a club in Toronto, and we hit it off with him, started singing, and within about 4 months he asked me to come on the road with him as his opening act. So we went out with him and toured pretty much across the Canada and down into the States for a little while. And one day this Sony rep came knocking on my door.
Now let's talk about the record. Yeah. This great debut record. How did you hook up with David Tyson?
Before he was a producer, working on a production level, David was a highly respected Canadian songwriter. And I went to Los Angeles to meet him just to see if there's anything there. I was working with a really sort of tight group of people, and it got to a point where I sort of thought, you know what, I need fresh blood. I need like fresh meat. So I went to meet him and sort of get into a different circle of friends, circle of people. And he and I just really hit it off. And one of the things that was desperately important to me about making this record was that I'd be working with a producer on a musical level, someone that I trusted. I didn't want to just hand the record over to someone I didn't know and say, like, just, you do this, I'll be back. Like, I'll be back to do the vocals, I'll see you later. So him producing it was just sort of a logical extension of our collaborating as, you know, songwriters and just meeting each other and really liking each other.
Do you enjoy doing videos?
Yeah, I really like the camera, probably even more so than the studio because it's not as blind a medium as recording. You know, people can see you and really relate to you, and I think it gives you an opportunity to really impart something of value, of visual value to your audience.
Is public recognition important to you?
That's a good question. I don't know. I really value my anonymity, but you know, what are you going to do? You're like, you got a record out, people know who you are. So, you know, I mean, I think it goes with the territory, but you know, you still want to be able to go to the grocery store and hang out without makeup and, you know, do silly things.
Do you have any aspirations that one day you'll be up there on a podium accepting a Juno or a Grammy?
Yeah, I mean, you want to believe that you're doing this because, I mean, and I know that I am doing this because I have a genuine enthusiasm for it. I love what I do. I love to sing. But there's something, for me personally, about a ceremony like the Grammy ceremony that's very, sort of like people who say, well, why get married? You could just live with someone. Well, but there's a certain like tradition, and it's, it's nice. You have your family there, and you get to wear a nice dress, and it's nice. For some people, and I think it's sort of the same thing with the Grammys, or the Junos. It's something that I grew up watching on television, and the people that I liked, all the people that I idolized, all my favorite singers and musicians were there. And I think when you're there, it's like you're surrounded by all these people that you grew up listening to. It imparts a real sense of tradition. So yeah, I like them.
One of the most spectacular and breathtaking hotels in the world, the Beverly Hills Hotel, reopened its doors in June of 1995. After 2.5 years and $100 million worth of renovations, it's even more beautiful now than it was before.
After a long period of extensive restoration and remodeling, the Beverly Hills Hotel remains a synonym of high elegance, class, and prestige. The hotel features 194 guest rooms, including 21 one-of-a-kind decorated bungalows, utilizing an interpretation of styles from Nouveau to Art Deco and Contemporary.
The total project was 4.5 years, and we spent 2 years for the planning of the restoration, and then 2.5 years construction.
At the beginning, the Beverly Hills Hotel's secluded bungalows became private rendezvous spots for famous Hollywood celebrities. But as the movie industry flourished, the hotel became the focal point of the community, making it Tinseltown's most prized hideaway. The hotel's popularity and legendary status continued to escalate, as did its exclusive guest list, attracting the who's who of the political, business, royalty, and film crowd.
There are so many people who discovered in our hotel, especially we were so much rated to the Hollywood entertainment industry. And everybody that really lived around here, they have some kind of memory that happened in our hotel. Either they met each other, or they had their bar mitzvah, wedding, or engagement, or they have been discovered. Therefore, really, it's a very special place to be.
Next week on Metro Cafe, we visit a PR firm in LA and find out what a celebrity publicist does. We do a little sampling and tell you everything you wanted to know about Scotch whiskey. Justine Priestley cooks up a storm with the chef at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Cape Breton fiddling sensation Ashley McIsaac drops in for a chat. We also sneak backstage and hang out with members of Bare Naked Ladies. And from Showboat, we introduce you to actors George Grizzard and Cloris Leachman.